Hello everybody, it is a lovely sunny Sunday morning, so I'm going to be going on a bike ride. I took the dog out this morning and I was like, gee whiz, it's cold, I need my gloves. So then I thought, in the winter it's so much harder to go out on your bike, so I'm going to do a video to share some motivational tips to help you get out through the winter months, because if you struggle, you're not on your own. It's definitely not as inviting as the summer. It's still shorts weather today, but it's definitely jacket needed as well, and soon it's going to be no more shorts. So yeah, hopefully this video will help you to keep going through the winter months. Winter miles for summer smiles. It's just things that have helped me. It might not necessarily help you. I'm not an expert, but I just thought it would be hopefully something helpful. Before I get out on the bike, Kyle's down there waiting for me, so I better hurry up. Normally I wouldn't do the intro in here, but I'm making the most of this new space we've made because I really love it, and I love my little tree that can't die because it's fake. Sorry about that, but I'm quite good at killing trees, so we thought the fake one's a better option for me, especially because we're going around the world next year as well. I mean, it'll definitely die because we're going to be away for so long, so you know, at least we know that'll survive. But anyway, before we get going, this video has a paid partner, which is very kindly BetterHelp. They basically reached out to me, asked if they could be a paid partner for some videos, and it was a really easy yes, because if you've watched my channel, you know that I've struggled with my mental health in the past, and sometimes I still do. They offer online therapy and also group sessions as well, so it's really convenient to access because it's online. You can do it from home, so it's not too scary. In the past when I struggled, I had therapy and it really helped me, as well as the bike. So I think, yeah, I wanted to do it because I'm a really big believer in talking to someone, getting help when you can and not feeling ashamed about it. They offered me some optional therapy for 3 months as part of the paid partnership, so I said yes. I've had one session so far which went really well. I don't feel like I'm really struggling at the minute, but I know that in the winter I find it a lot harder, and I'm quite hard on myself at the minute. Like since Tour de France, I can easily slip into a negative mindset and be really hard on myself and put a lot of pressure on myself. So I'm working on trying to be kinder to myself, which is what I'm doing the therapy for. So yeah, if you feel like you need help, don't be ashamed. Honestly, when I struggled back in 2021, I always say the thing that really helped the most was talking about it, and like the first time I spoke about it was really hard, but since then it's just got a lot easier. So yeah, if you want to give it a go, then there is a 10% discount code. There's a link in the description, or you can just visit www.betterhelp.com/Amy Cycles. I'm so glad I remembered that because I didn't think I was going to. Yeah, it's not just therapy. They have like online groups as well on different topics. So if you don't quite feel ready to like be on a one-to-one session, you can join a group session and just learn something new. So yeah, I definitely recommend it. I've used it myself, as I say, I've just had one session, so yeah, so far so good. But my other form of therapy is getting out on the bike, so let's roll. First tip is to set yourself a goal. I always find that have something to aim for really helps get me out on the bike, because it gives you that sort of like motivation, it gives you something to aim for. So it might be a mileage goal, you might set yourself a certain amount of miles you want to do this month. It might be something more in the future. I think it's really helpful to have something maybe in the spring, so maybe enter a sportive, or set yourself that you want to do a certain distance next spring, or enter an event, because that can be really helpful. And then break that goal down into small segments, so break it down into weekly or monthly goals. So it could be, right, this week I'm going to ride 50 miles, next week I'm going to ride 60 miles, and have that aim, and then, you know, give yourself a little treat when you do it. Maybe buy yourself a chai latte or something that you've wanted. So that can really help, just having that goal. I always like start my week out on a Sunday night. I'll have a look what my week's looking like, look at the weather, pick the milder days for going outside, and sort of make my plan of what I want to do. Luckily I do have a coach, so that really helps. But yeah, having a plan to follow, setting yourself some structure sometimes helps you to stick to it. So that's tip number 1. Have a goal and work towards it. Kyle's there, he's going on a ride too. My next tip is find yourself a buddy to ride with. I'm really lucky because I've got Kyle, but if you've got a mate you can ride with, it always helps in the winter that if you make a plan together, you're more likely to stick to it and go out. If you've got a local club you can join, definitely recommend that. And if not, if you've not got anyone to ride with, maybe like arrange to meet a friend at a cafe and cycle there, so you know you're going to see someone halfway through your ride. It just helps with the motivation if you've got a plan in place.
Although she's not always happy to have this buddy to ride with.
No, because sometimes it's too fast.
No, grumpy.
Sometimes it's a bit grumpy in the morning. My next tip is, don't worry about doing less in the winter. It's like we all need a break sometimes, and if you feel like you need a break, have a break. And maybe, you know, if you've been doing a lot through the summer, your body might be tired, just make sure you give yourself that rest that you need. And like today, me and Kyle, we'd normally do about 80 or 90 miles on a Saturday. Today we're just doing 40 miles. We're both a bit tired, but getting out and doing some miles is better than doing none. So even if you just go out and do half the mileage you normally do, or a quarter of it, I always say like riding 1 mile is better than riding no miles. So don't be hard on yourself with how far you're going. Just getting out is an achievement. So yeah, let your body rest and ride less if you need to. But the most important thing is ride. Apart from on your rest days. Sorry, just contradicting myself there, but you know what I mean. Ride less, don't feel bad for having a rest. My next tip is thinking, oh, I've got a bit of fluff stuck to the camera. My next tip is thinking positively about the ride. Like, think about your mindset and make it a positive mindset. If you set off on a ride thinking, oh, it's cold, it's miserable, it's going to be horrible, chances are your ride's going to be horrible because your head's not in it. So I always say you can't control the weather, but you can control your attitude. So set out on your ride, tell yourself it's going to be a good one, you're going to make the most of it, and that it's a privilege to be able to ride your bike. There's lots of people that don't have a bike or don't have access to cycling, so if you do, then you're in a good position and you've got to make the most of it. Obviously some rides you might be a bit miserable, but you always feel better when you get home, and I've never regretted a bike ride so far. So yeah, think positively, boost yourself up, don't let a negative mindset get in the way. Kyle, what positive things do you say to yourself to get yourself out on a ride in the winter?
It's always difficult, innit, because you know you're going to be cold, but it's all about saying stuff that you're going to feel good after. And I always look forward to it, weirdly, like the smell of fires going, and that feeling when you get back from a cold ride, or the sense of accomplishment, thinking that reward, that feeling.
We're back off the bike ride, it's a different day, and my next tip is to vary your training in the winter. So instead of just focusing purely on the bike, try and do different things so that your body is adapting to getting stronger. And also sometimes, you know, on the really bad days in the winter, the last thing you want to do is go outside, particularly if it's icy. I'd never ever recommend putting yourself at risk and riding when it's too cold and you could come off in the ice, because that is not a good idea. So on those days, if you've got an indoor training set up, we're very grateful that we do. My bike isn't actually on it at the minute, it's out there. So I sometimes will do either an indoor session, or I'll go on a run, not in the ice though, when it's raining or cold. I'll go on a run in the cold and the rain. Or I'll do strength and conditioning, which is what I'm doing today. So I literally just follow YouTube videos. I do it kind of 3 times a week, and I'll normally do a little bit of abs, a little bit of arm work because I've not got much going on up here, and some strengthening for my legs, my glutes and my knees particularly, to prevent injury. So I do like squats, lunges, I've got a bar that I use, so I do weighted squats, and my coach kind of advises me on that. But there's so many videos on YouTube. I really like using MadFit for my abs and also for my legs as well. So she does some like quite good leg workouts, just 15-minute ones, so they're really easy to either combine 2 and do half an hour, or if you've only got 15 minutes then that's better than nothing. But I think having a bit of variety in winter helps to keep you motivated, keep you going. And like I said on the ride, if you're tired, then have a break. I also really like to try and do yoga as well, because although I have to really motivate myself to do it, I do find it really relaxing and calming, and we spend a lot of time like this on the bike, so it's good to stretch out. So yeah, and that's my next tip, is vary your training. But anyway, I better get on with it because I've got half an hour abs to do, and I've been delaying it for the past 2 hours. I even started, you know, dusting the worktops and things that they didn't need doing just to delay. But we've just recently done our indoor setup, so Kyle's bike's there, my bike's normally here. We've got a little shrine up here, Tour de France from the all the stages I did, and then we've got some hats that we've collected. So yeah, and then we've got a picture on that needs going up. That's where the new kitchen's going to be, and this area for strength and stuff. Oh, and this is like something we need to put up to hang our helmets on, and a little weight bench which isn't very full because we've only got 2 sets of weights, but you know, we'll build it up over time. Anyway, I've got one more tip left for you, so I'm going to do my session and then I'll be back with the last tip. Right, I've done my strength and conditioning session. I've had a shower because I thought I needed to freshen up, and my last tip is to invest in winter kit, because I know cycling is a very expensive sport, but I think if you can do it, get yourself some good winter kit, just because going out in the cold is not fun at the best of times, but there's no such thing as bad weather, just bad clothing choice, as my granddad once said to me. So you can make it cheaper if you go on, like, you can always buy second-hand kit. Like, I probably wouldn't have second-hand bib shorts if I was you, but tops, jerseys, things like that, there's a lot of them on Vinted, so get yourself there, save the dollar. I love to save money. But long leggings are a must in the winter, keeping the legs warm. Or the other option, which I never knew about when I started cycling, is leg warmers. So if you don't want to spend money on buying completely, because they're more expensive, like new long leggings, you can just wear your shorts that you wear in the summer and then put some leg warmers on with them, which are nice and fluffy on the inside. To be fair, I wear both, and both just are warm, so it's whatever you prefer really. You can get the long leggings which have like a base layer attached to them, which can be warmer as well, so depends how much dollar you've got really. But leg warmers, you can also get arm warmers as well, so you can wear a short sleeve jersey with arm warmers on and then a jacket on top if you don't have a long sleeve jersey. Other thing that I always used to think, now people call it a gilet, I like to call it a body warmer, don't know why, just always have. I used to think these just will make no difference. They honestly do make such a difference to keeping like your body warm, so I definitely recommend body warmer. Any brand is fine. Then now base layers. In the summer, obviously you have your short sleeve base layer if you want to, but in the winter I always have a long sleeve base layer on, and this, my friends, 10 quid. It's not a cycling specific one, it's just a thermal top, and it works a treat, so that's a good way to save money. And just in the winter, I always say wear layers, because if you just wear one jacket and a jersey, then if you get too hot, you can take your jacket off and then you're too hot. So if you wear lots of little layers, like you've got your body warmer, your base layer, your jersey, you can take layers off and then you're not getting too hot and you can easily put them back on. But yeah, nice cheap thermal there for you, saving the dollar. Although I do have some cycling specific ones as well, but you know, that's a nice good option. Then shoe covers and gloves. I've not got gloves to show you, but shoe covers make a massive difference. I always get really cold feet, so they just give you an extra layer of warmth. And I always wear like woolly socks instead of cycling socks, because no one's going to see them, because your leg warmer things are over them, and then they're over the shoes and they go over the top of your ankle. So you don't need to worry about a fashion faux pas. You can wear your woolly socks and keep warm. And then neck warmer, massive, makes a massive difference, you know. Hang on, over the old neck, you've got multiple options. It can just be for your neck, it can go right over your nose, it can go over your ears, you can even, you know, wear it like this. I have done it before, Kyle does it often, you know, cover the whole face underneath you. I mean, I wouldn't have my hair like this, but you know what I mean. Hang on, that just looks silly now, I'll show you the proper way. So you might think, you know, you don't want to look silly, but let me tell you one thing, I'd choose looking silly over being cold in the winter, because there's nothing worse than going on a ride and feeling absolutely cold. Right, well, how did I do this? Oh yeah, so you put it on fully, then you get the back bit, put it over your head like that, so you've got like a nice little cocoon. Then you put your helmet on and you've got a neck warmer, plus your head's warm, and you just feel great. I mean, you don't look great, but you feel great. So that's a lovely versatile bit of kit, to be honest with you, which is great for the winter. I, to be fair, normally just have the neck warmer on, and then I have a running headband that I put over my ears, but that's an option if you want to go for the real daredevil look. And then obviously just a good jacket. Like, you need a jacket in the winter. If you go out for a walk in the winter, you're cold, you have a big coat on. On the bike, you're even colder because there's wind against you. Even though you're pedalling, you're going to get warm. If you're going downhill especially, it's freezing in the winter, because obviously you've got the cold air on you. So just get yourself a good jacket. I got this in the sale. It should have been really expensive, but I got a really good, I think I got it for under £100, which was good. And you cycling kit's expensive. But it's like fluffy on the inside and it's waterproof on the outside. So that's a good winter jacket for me. But you can layer up as well, which helps. So I always think you're going to be more motivated to go out if you know you're not going to be too cold, because the coldness definitely puts me off going out. Anyway, hopefully that's given you some motivation for the winter. I always as well think, think of your future goals. If you get out on your bike in the winter, you're going to feel so much better in the summer, in the spring. If you don't get out at all, it's just going to be a lot harder for you when the summer months come back round again. But also, don't be afraid to have a little bit of time off. I think in the winter we can struggle a little bit more, so try and get out with your friends and go riding if you can, because it's just going to make you feel less alone. And no matter how demotivated you feel, you always come back from a bike ride feeling better. Well, I do anyway. So yeah, hope that's been helpful, and thank you so much for watching. TT's the FN. Ta-ta for now. Goodbye.